profile on NewZ Source.
All right, President-elect Donald Trump wasting no time in making another key appointment to his administration. We are being told now Matt Gaetz has been tapped as Attorney General, along with Senator Marco Rubio.
He looks like that actor. I forget his name, but Jack, he's an older guy. He was in, what's the movie? All Work, No Play Makes Jack a Dull Boy or whatever. And then he's a lot, Jack Nichols. No, it's not Jack Nichols. But anyway, if you're in my age bracket, you know who I'm talking about. Let's go.
Rubio as Secretary of State. In addition to that, former Congresswoman and former Democratic presidential nominee Tulsi Gabbard as the Director of National Intelligence.
And so Trump has also announced his White House senior staff, and it includes loyalists from his first administration, Dan Scavino and Stephen Miller. No surprise there, but I think some surprises in this lineup now. This comes after Trump tapped Fox News host Pete Hegseth, the weekend morning news anchor on Fox, to become the nation's Secretary of Defense. And he also picked, Trump did, the former Director of National Intelligence and Republican Congressman John Ratcliffe will now.
Okay, it is Jack Nicholson. That's who he looks like. But let's go back and let's look at these pics.
On Fox to become the nation's Secretary of Defense. And he also picked, Trump did, the former Director of National Intelligence.
Look at this. The one that stands out to me is this guy. What is Elon? Okay, let's go. Just gonna jump right into it. Let's go.
Republican Congressman John Ratcliffe will now be, in this administration, the CIA director, if confirmed by the Senate under Trump. So joining us now from West Palm Beach, Florida, senior White House correspondent Selena Wang, along with our Jay O'Brien on Capitol Hill. Selena, Marco Rubio, we got to talk about Matt Gaetz. What? Are you surprised? Did you hear that name at all? And
we were all surprised.
Yeah. What does he bring to the table for Donald Trump?
I mean, this is really an explosive decision, and we had heard that this was a decision that Donald Trump had really been struggling with. Sources told us that Donald Trump had recently met with multiple candidates for this very important job of Attorney General, and that every single time he walked away.
He looks like a young Jack Nicholson, but this is very interesting. What is Elon going to be doing? But let's get to Matt Gaetz.
Unsatisfied. I mean, Matt Gaetz, this Florida congressman, he is a firebrand. He has become a MAGA loyalist, and he really rose to prominence riding along the coattails of Donald Trump's MAGA movement. But what is so striking about this is that he would be leading the very same executive branch of government that spent years investigating various allegations against him. So this is going to be a long road to Senate confirmation. I think among the picks, there are some that are seen as establishment and conventional. Matt Gaetz certainly is not one of them. And this comes, of course, after he had announced Pete Hegseth, the Fox News host, as Secretary of Defense. He has announced Tulsi Gabbard to lead the DNI. So this is really an interesting group. But what is the through line of all of this is that these are hardcore Trump loyalists. He wants to stack people around him who he believes are going to carry out his demands without all.
You know what? I don't blame Trump for that. Even Pence turned on him. Okay? And that was the vice president in his last term. I can understand why Trump wants people who will be loyal to him and who share his viewpoints. Now, I'm not saying that I agree with all of his viewpoints. I'm just saying that I understand, okay? If I already was in this position one time and got betrayed by many, then I don't want to do that again. And on another note, it's really a shame what they're trying to do or what they're doing to Rudy Giuliani. They're trying to take away all of his money. Let's continue.
A lot of pushback.
You know, just looking back at the investigations surrounding Matt Gaetz, as we look at live pictures here of Trump's plane there. Is he landing or is he getting ready to take off from West Palm? He must be coming back from D.C., right? He was here, obviously, in the Oval with President Biden, talking about a peaceful transition. Then he was up on the Hill, hoping he was going to get that trifecta that he has now received with sweeping power here in our nation's capital. He's landing in West Palm Beach. But just looking back to Matt Gaetz and why we all kind of gasp, I guess when it comes to Trump, you never know what's going to happen and who he's going to pick, right? But just to give a little context, and I was looking back to see when exactly the DOJ investigation had wrapped. And it was last year. You may remember Gaetz was under investigation by the Justice Department for having sex with a 17-year-old girl and then paying for her to.
He did what? Let's rewind that. He did what? By the way, that's a very beautiful plane, Mr. President Trump.
And it was last year. You may remember Gaetz was under investigation by the Justice Department for having sex with a 17-year-old girl and then paying.
What? Okay. Let's continue. That's stunning, but not surprising.
Paying for her to travel with him. The DOJ did end that investigation last year, February, and did not bring charges against Gaetz. But Selena, there still is this ongoing ethics.
I have to say something really quick. As a man, I want to say, and hopefully no one holds this against me, but a lot of men make very bad decisions when it comes to their loins. A lot of men will risk it all for their loins. And I can even tell this guy to wise up because he's got to be an older man. Maybe most men never learn. I don't know. But let us continue. Good God.
Committee investigation into sexual misconduct and also allegations of drug use. So I guess, what happens now to this, look into misconduct as he now is being tapped to be the attorney general? I mean, this twist in this story doesn't get more interesting.
It's amazing that House investigation, by the way, did.
Is Matt Gaetz a dirtbag? I don't know. I would hope not. And is Trump understanding, because Trump has had some of those allegations pinned on him, but he still became the president. He still got elected, nominated and elected twice, really 3 times. Or could it all be a lie, Matt Gaetz? You know what? I'm going to give you the Benny of the D. The benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's lies. Let's go.
Did find that there's, quote, merit to some of the allegations of sexual misconduct against Matt Gaetz. That investigation would continue, but looks like he's going to leave the House. What do you think, Selena?
Look, there's so much controversy that has swirled around Matt Gaetz, but what is so clear from all of this is that Donald Trump is prioritizing loyalty above all. That is what he is rewarding, people who are loyal to him. But again, the big question comes down to, could he get through the Senate confirmation process? I mean, even with Republicans holding that majority, that is unclear. But we know that Gaetz has been traveling with Donald Trump. In fact, today he's actually been at Mar-a-Lago advising Trump on some of these key cabinet picks. So he's really been in his inner circle. And again, but the big concern that we've been talking about is that Gaetz would be leading the same agency that had been investigating him for years. So many questions and concerns around this choice, which is why I used the word explosive earlier to describe this pick.
Yeah, it really is
explosive. It is. But like I said, I'm going to give him the Benny of the D. The benefit of the doubt. Maybe something good is going to come from Big Daddy Trump's vision for this guy. We shall see, and I will keep you all posted. Let us continue.
Remarkable, and yet it also to be expected. Dealing with Donald Trump, expect the unexpected. I think the country has come to understand that.
He stole the words out of my mouth, out of my Coke Zero filled mouth. Expect the unexpected from Big Daddy. Okay? Expect the unexpected, which should be expected. Let us continue.
And obviously, a majority of the country likes it, at least likes the results that they get with it.
Yeah, they do.
What does it tell you about this selection process? You are down there in the whirlwind right now, really the whirlwind of what's happening at Mar-a-Lago. This has been a transition like few others. They are hitting the ground running, names popping out one after the other. Looks like they were ready to go in some ways. In some ways, Trump just saying, this is it, kind of following his gut as he often does. What's it like to be covering this transition?
Yeah, well, it's very different from how it worked the first time Donald Trump attempted to do this. There was a lot more pomp and circumstance, but now it's really happening behind closed doors at Mar-a-Lago. And a lot of that, sources tell us, is credited to Susie Wiles, his chief of staff, obviously critical to getting Trump elected and running a much tighter ship this time around. And we are really seeing him making these decisions at a breakneck pace. It is just very unprecedented how quickly he is making a lot of these decisions. Again, Donald Trump, he has been through the White House before. He understands this bureaucracy a lot better, and he wants to choose people who he believes are going to carry out his demands. And as we gear up for day one of his presidency, he's had years to really prepare for this moment. And Terry, what you're seeing from a lot of his picks is that he wants to make good on his campaign promise of mass deportation. Some of his earliest high-profile picks were Stephen Miller, Tom Homan. These are...
Hey, you guys, that mass deportation is going down. And also, Trump said that he is going to lock up all of the gangs. My friends, it is hammer time for lots of groups and lots of policies and ideologies like the wokeism, which I never really subscribed to that. It's hammer time on that. And it is hammer time for tampons to be in the restroom of men and boys. That is over and out. Peace.
Trump loyalists who are hardliners on immigration. These are people who are architects of his immigration policy the first time around, including the most controversial parts of his immigration policy. Then he named Kristi Noem as the head of the DHS. So they're all going to be working very closely together to carry out that mass deportation plan. So you're just seeing a better run operation as they want to hit the ground running when day one starts.
And also obviously this ambition to really change things. I mean, Matt Gaetz would not have been on anybody's short list for Attorney General. And one of the things he brings to the table, as Kira was just mentioning, and Diana, our producer here, he is all in for the January 6th defendants and convicts now. One can expect, as President Trump has talked about, pardons for those who attacked our Capitol on January 6th. And I also wonder,
You know what? Now that's ill. And you know what? In my Trump mind, I get it. He's gonna pardon those people that were given long sentences that were riding for him. Actually, it makes sense. Like the dude that was the head of the Proud Boys, I think they hit him with like 17 years in prison. Now, if Trump comes to his rescue, you know what? I'm just going to say it. Trump is the realest president ever. Like if Trump was a black drug dealer, he'd be Nino Brown from New Jack City. Okay? He would be the illest. Right? Like, you know what? If nothing else, let's enjoy the show. Let us continue.
You know, he has talked about going after the president's political enemies, who in the eyes of the president and his attorney general, it seems, may have broken the law in pursuing him in their own cases. So,
and you know what I would call that, my friends? Karma. They've been trying to destroy Donald Trump for at least, I'd say 8 years. Well, before that, let's say 10 years. And for him to get his lick back, because I've got situations like that in my life where people have been trying to destroy me that I never did anything to, namely my sister and a few other people. And this, you know what, Trump, I'm with it. This is the sweetest victory for you. And I'm happy for you. Matter of fact, everybody, round of applause. I salute you, Big Daddy. Yeah, I feel it. Let's go.
this, you know, Trump talked on the campaign trail, as you know, Selena, about I will be your retribution. And it feels like Matt Gaetz is a bit of a stick in the eye and a bit of maybe even more serious retribution against the president's political enemy.
This guy's name, Matt Gaetz, his new name, okay, he's already called the other lady the Iron Maiden. I forget her name. I did a video about her, though. This guy's name should be HAMMERTIME. Look at that smile. Look at that. Yeah, he's with all of the ish. All of it. You know what? I'm trying to swim my way to y'all side. How can I get there, Matt? I'm trying to be down with where it's up. And that's where you guys are at. So y'all need to holler at me.
Enemies.
Yeah, I mean, as Donald Trump has been trying to assemble his cabinet, the role that really stuck out the most from all of this is the Attorney General. This is an extremely powerful position. This is someone who wants to help support his agenda of mass deportations, to your point, to pardon those January 6 riots, and also to seek retribution.
Hey, those immigrants are scurrying like cockroaches right now because they know your boy in 2 months. He's not playing. That is like, I think that's number 1 on his list. If not, it's in the top 5. And they know it. And I know it. And you know it. Thank God I was born in New York City. Okay? And I was born to a famous singer. That's my daddy. Okay? And one day I'll tell you who that is. I'll do a video about that. But thank God I was born in New York in Harlem. Thank you. Thank God. Because if I was an illegal immigrant, whoa, it's about to go left with the right. Good God.
Against those who he has seen as his enemy over the past few years. And Gaetz is certainly seen as someone who is very loyal to Donald Trump. And I can tell you, I'm already getting some texts from a former Trump official who is now a Democrat, is supportive of the Democrats, who tells me that they're extremely concerned by this pick of Matt Gaetz and what it could mean in terms of seeking retribution. But again, this has to go through the Senate. It could be a long road for Senate confirmation. This is definitely one of the more surprising picks from Donald Trump. But I think the one that probably raised the most eyebrows out of everybody we're talking about was this Secretary of Defense pick, Pete Hegseth. He really wasn't on anybody's radar as far as we had been hearing.
Just back to Matt Gaetz and looking at.
Hey, baby. Back after that intermission.
the some of the statements that President-elect Donald Trump has put out on Truth Social. He said Matt will root out the systemic corruption at DOJ and return the department to its true mission of fighting crime and upholding our democracy and Constitution. We must have honesty, integrity, and transparency.
I think the name of Trump's presidency and the people who he is putting in place should be called Operation Hammer. Let's go, Big Daddy.
At DOJ. Under Matt's leadership, all Americans will be proud of the Department of Justice once again.
Follow NewZ Source.